What is up, everybody? Welcome to some Gummytainment. I'm your host, Gummy Den, and welcome back to another devlog for the Goo King Trials, which is my mobile game that I'm making for Android devices. So, just a quick little note throughout these vlogs, if you ever see me look down like this, like I'm looking in this direction, that is because I'm looking at my notes. For all of these devlogs, I always have notes, both to make sure that I don't forget anything and to make sure that you get the main important information, and it just makes the video go a little bit better. So just so you know, I wanted you to be aware of that. I'm not trying to look away from you or do something else. I am just looking at my notes, and I just wanted to mention that just so everyone knows. Okay, so there was a bunch of stuff that I did from the last devlog to this one, and some of it was like kind of little teeny things, so I'm not going to go over every single one. In most of these videos I try not to, just because some are so small and so quick and easy. It would just be like listing everything, so I just kind of want to give you the important things, my thoughts, what's going on, updates, that kind of a thing, just because it's better for everyone, to be honest. So, the first thing is I got the saving and loading system implemented, as well as it includes a new game, which is if the save is not there, if there is no save file, it's never been played before, it will create everything brand new. It'll basically create these variables and just set them in the file as what they are when you start the game. There's also a function built in temporarily to delete your save that actually might be in the real game, but the way it's set right now is not through a way you can really do it. It's just for testing purposes. As I was kind of doing the saving and loading and also running the game, it's easier to restart at level 1. So yeah, that's there, but that's mostly just the test version. I'm gonna have it implemented later and have an "are you sure?" because this is one of those, even though I hate those things where they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Usually it's like, yeah, obviously. I still want to make sure that it's, for this particular situation, it makes sense, because you wouldn't want someone to accidentally delete their data. I don't think anyone will want to delete their data, but there may be some 2 people in the world that want to do that one time and restart for whatever reason, and I want to give them the ability to. So that is a function that's done as well, part of this whole system. The next thing, which you can see here, is the pause menu as well as the main menu. So these are things that I needed to do to make sure that the game was getting to a playable state. The plan is we're going to get to a playable build very soon. This will be a testers and me testing it build. This will not be like a release or an early access release or anything like that. But it will be the first build that we're going to be testing for just like a very basic level of mechanics. And from there, we're going to work towards the early access release, which I'll get into a little bit later. I don't want to keep you guys in suspense or make you wait, but it's just easier to go over a few other things first. The next very teeny thing is I have the Goo Points graphic on the screen. I made the point, you can see in the upper left hand corner of the actual graphic of it, as well as now with the Goo Points, you don't get them for killing the enemies because that's good for your XP, but for coins that are going to be currency, it seems a little bit like you'll get too many. So now it's a chance that they may drop that, as well as drop health or drop nothing. So now the drops are a little bit better. And if they drop coins, you'll pick them up, and you'll, same kind of function as before, where you may get 1 to, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like 1 to 3 or 5 or something like that. It's like a range of points you may get from picking up that 1. So that's basically the mechanic of that, and you also, if you beat the level, you will get Goo Points for that as well. I felt like getting the currency still should be implemented when you beat an entire level, because that's a accomplishment. So that is still implemented, but not if you're just killing them. That's only for your XP. Speaking of XP, and I didn't even do that on purpose, but it ended up being that way. There is a new level up animation. Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but if you look in the upper left at this video that I'm showing you, I'm about to level up, and when it happens, look in the upper left. There'll be a quick animation that will happen. Okay. And then it stays there for like a second or two, and then it goes away. Now, once there is a sound, which will be coming for the early access build, and possibly for the first build as well, then it will be much better. And also this level up animation will be added to. I'll add more effects, but this is like the first part of it. I thought it would be better just to keep it up there and not have a big thing cluttering your screen. If you're in a big battle, you really don't want something to block your screen. So this seems like the most subtle, simple, kind of easy way. It's not very amazing for the graphics, but it's good enough. It zooms in, it has that little effect. It will work for now. And just to get the function of that level up animation playing is, you know, more important right now, the coding of it. Changing the graphics, adding to the graphics is easy because I already have that trigger in the code where that happens. So next up is actually level traps, and this actually the Twitch chat really helped me with. All the footage you see is from a live stream on Twitch when I worked through some of the things I'm going to talk about. Some were done before the stream, but that's all the footage you're going to see of the recording. So the chat really helped me to try to come up with different level traps, both that are going to be used now, and even I think 1 or 2 ideas for the future. So, level traps basically are because, you know, right now, you know, you have the walls to avoid and they're randomly generated, the enemies randomly generated, but there is no other real thing to, like, avoid or to add variety to the levels. So I thought to myself, how about level traps? Now, the level traps are not going to be in the first levels. I want the player to have an easier experience. So what you've seen before, normally that's going to be like the first level, like without level traps, just the walls, the enemies, because I really want the player to get that first level up, to beat level 1, to really like have a very easy experience. I know they're starting out as a low level character, but like at the same time they're also fighting, you know, in a simpler battle. It's a game, it's made to get harder. So I don't want the level traps to be in the first level. It will be in the first area, but not level 1, maybe not even level 2, but they will be introduced early on, and this will just add a variety to the levels. So, we came up with 2 level traps. The first one, as you can see here, is the slowdown, and when you go on this, it simply slows you down. It doesn't just slow you down when you're on top of it, though. It'll actually slow you down for 2 or 3 seconds when you move past it as well. Basically has a timer, and so when you get off of it, it will go for 2 or 3 seconds, and then you will speed up to your normal speed again. It gives you half speed of what you currently have. And this may not sound that bad, but avoiding bullets and avoiding enemies that are chasing you is a lot harder when you're having a slowdown trap and you run over it. And you may run over it by accident. That's the whole point. You may click on these or go over them by accident, and that is really the thing that will add a more difficulty to the game. The second level trap is supposed to be thorns. Someone mentioned spikes, and I hate spikes. So, since I hate spikes in games, and I refuse to add them into this game as much as I possibly can, unless someone wants to give me $1 million, then I will definitely add in spikes just for you and give you a special shout out. Don't actually do that. Oh my gosh, $1 million. Don't actually do that. But I added thorns. They're like a vine thorns kind of looking thing. The graphic may be improved a little bit, but it's not too bad. And you can see that little square of where that is. When you go over this, it actually hurts you. So this is directly just to damage the player. I wanted 2 types of things. I did want something to hurt the player, and I did want something to do something else, which was slow down. The good news for the slowdown also was that I already had a speed variable in the player, so it was very easy to like adjust that and put it back. So that was really good. Okay, so this was really exciting. However, I didn't get to finish it because it is a very long-term thing, both with the graphics and the coding. So the next thing I worked on was starting on the first boss. I really wanted to get the first boss done so the entire first area is basically completed and playable. So you can play all the levels and then get the boss. So, so we started on the first boss. He's supposed to be a fat enemy who has a lot of health and actually can occasionally randomly try to eat stuff to heal. I got some of it done. I got all the graphics done pretty much, except for a little bit more additions of the eating. But the basic graphics of him are done. The basic code of him are done. I just need to do some extra working and getting the, like, once you hurt him more and more, the chances of him healing or trying to heal will go up, and also attacking will go up. He can sometimes be idle in the early stages, because he's supposed to be easy. He's not supposed to be that difficult. He does damage you, but he's a little bit slow, and that's the basic thing of what he is. So, yeah, that's the first boss. I figured this would be like, I don't know, in this basic area, these are no people, like, special. This is, like, the low-level people. You know, this would just be a guy who is fat and eats a lot, so that's why he has health, and that also allows him to heal. But he doesn't really, like, he tries to run into you, but he won't throw anything at you. He won't do any special attacks. That's really all he's going to do. So this will allow the player to have a better chance of eventually beating him. Because even if he heals, you could still keep, you know, attacking him and stuff like that. So I will be continuing on this boss and finishing him up as my next task, probably off stream. But yeah, once he is done and I get the final parts of the first area done, I'm going to be doing a first build. I'm going to be testing it, then I'm going to be throwing it over to some testers, and we're gonna, you know, find bugs and fix them. I also have 1 or 2 bugs I'm gonna fix myself, and then we'll be moving on from there to the early access build. I know this is what you guys are waiting for. So after talking to the chat, thinking in my head, making some decisions, I decided 2 things. Number 1, the early access build will include 2 areas with bosses. So basically you can play through 2 full areas completely, and it will also include some upgrades. So you'll be able to upgrade your player through, like, different things like strength, armor, which is now changed, because now if you get hit by the basic enemies, your armor will completely block it. You won't lose any health. However, if you get attacked by an enemy that has a higher strength and you're blocking, you will take half damage, because this is to make it so that you can upgrade your armor so that you don't take that half damage. So that's just to add a little option for the player. If they'd rather just avoid stuff, they don't need to upgrade the armor, but you do run the risk of getting, you know, more injured. But if you do want to upgrade the armor instead of maybe strength or something like that, then you will have more chance to block stuff. So it just all depends on the player when they want to do it, but this will just add that option in there, and it was pretty easy to change. So it's also going to have some things you can unlock, like a skin or 2, oh man, what was the other stuff, and stuff like that. So it's going to have some of those basic mechanics that are going to be in the entire game, just not too many. The other thing that I decided, and this was a really tough decision, and let me know in the comments for sure what you think about this, because this decision could be changed, it's not permanent, but this is what I'm thinking as of now. I think I'm deciding that the progress in the early access build, which will include more than 2 areas in the future, just 2 areas is when it's released. But I think the progress, I want to reset it. It's a really tough decision because it can go either way. There are positives and negatives for both. If I reset it, then people can, you know, when they play the real full game, everyone's pretty much starting at the same point. The game is played longer because you won't already be far through the game. And it will just be a better experience because some stuff will be updated and changed. It'll also be much harder to carry over that save as more stuff's added to the game. So I just think it's better in that way. But on the other side, of course, there are going to be people who, you know, are going to be a little upset because they're losing progress. But early access is just to try out the game early. It's not necessarily that you're, like, playing it all the way early and then you just get to play the final release and beat the game. You know, it's made just kind of to be, I guess, a tester, but in a way, but, like, I don't know, get to have fun with the game early on. So I think I'm going to stick with this decision, but don't worry, you will be rewarded. If you participate in the early access at any point and play some of it, you'll actually be rewarded when the full release comes out with goo points. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this. I'm going to be looking into how this works and how I can, people can, you know, say they played the early access and I can check it, and then they can receive like a code or just put it to their account or somehow give them these goo points. So you can use this currency right from the very beginning to already upgrade your character or unlock skins or whatever you want to spend it on when you get the game full release. I think this is a good balance because you will be reset, but you will get a little bit so that you can get a little bit of progress. Not progress where you're far into the game, like halfway through the game or more, and super powerful, but like a little bit of progress, so it makes it a little bit easier as you make it through the game. So it kind of gives you like a boost, but it doesn't give you to the point where like you may be when you're actually, if you were to play the game in early access, you know, to the end of whatever level we get to. Okay, so I have one final thing about the future, and it's a just a little announcement and information for you guys. So you guys already know, I don't need to say it a million times, that I live stream some of these game dev, sometimes I do live streams that are game dev, and they're done on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Gummytainment. But this coming, well, if you're watching this video around when it's out, then this coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, April 30th to May 2nd, 2021, I will be doing dev streams the entire weekend. So my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday streams, I will be doing dev streams. So I'll be making huge progress on the game. I'll have lots of time to do that. This will help me get this content done, get these mechanics done, make this progress to move towards getting 2 areas fully finished and all the other extra things, having sound in the game, all those kind of things, so that we can start working our way toward early access. I will be planning on announcing the early access a month before it's released. There are some things that I need to work on the Google side, the ads side, and stuff like that. So keep that in mind, that those are also things on my list to do before I can even announce this. But once all the harder stuff is done like that and I have enough content, I will be announcing it, and it will be about a month or so from the announcement. This way, people have time to prepare for it and time to get ready for it. It also, to be very honest, is so that I could have time to promote it and market it and mention it all around everywhere that I possibly can. So there are many reasons why I'm doing it this way, but yeah, that is the plan. So I would love to have you there if you want to stop by April 30th, which is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or May 1st or May 2nd, Saturday and Sunday, which is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a lot longer of a stream. Stop by the dev streams. If you're interested in this game, come to the Twitch, and I'd love to see you there and have you be a part of the creating of the game. It's really awesome. I appreciate you for watching all this and getting all this information, and this always ends up being longer than I want it to be, but I think some people are really interested, so I think those people will enjoy these videos, and that's pretty much it. If you like this game and you're interested, click that gummy thumbs up or the like button. And also, if you have not subscribed yet and you're just watching this video, it is free on YouTube at least. So click that subscribe button, click that bell so you get notified of what is coming up in the future. And remember, it's not just entertainment, it's Gummytainment. See ya!